Okay guys, in this tutorial we're gonna learn how to protect things. Now, see this namespace learn CS? Well, inside of that namespace we're gonna have a class storage, let's say. So, class storage, and in here we're gonna have something that is hidden from class program, but we're gonna use it anyway. So check this out. In here, for simplicity reasons, we're gonna have just string, let's say some string, and the value will be something simple. And now you're gonna say, okay, I can use this stuff when I create object. Well, let's test that assumption. What is the target? Storage class. P1 will be generic name of some object, not important. New storage, you know how to create objects, and actually this will be fine part of program. Until now, object will be created, so that's cool. But when I try to access this some string, a little bit down there from object creation with console.writeLine, I can type P1, okay, that's cool, but when I say dot, there is no some string available here. So when I type some string, we are going to run into problem with access modifiers. So storage class and some string from it is inaccessible due to its protection level. Now some people will say, okay, no problem, I'm gonna just type public here. Well, actually that will not work. So same error. Well, the thing is that for every of these individual instructions here, integers, characters, strings, you need to be really precise that you wanna put this into publicly available stuff. So public, obviously this will work, okay? There you go, something simple. But what if you wanna definitely to hide this thing from program because you don't want anyone else to mess around with your storage class? Because probably you have some kind of secret algorithm there in some, I don't know, DLL file, external thing and stuff like that. Well, then you will not say public, you will say private. Private. And now F5, that thing will be forbidden. It will not be available to class program. So same stuff when you say private here on the left and when you don't have it. Okay? F5. Same problem with inaccessibility. Now, still, if you want to protect that thing with private access modifier, well, question is, well, how you're going to use this stuff down there? What's the purpose of this line anyway? Well, actually, you're gonna use this as a part of bigger solution through method, because you can have method obviously in external classes in the same namespace. And then some people will say this publicly available, let's say method that will directly print integer, and actually we're gonna create here a private integer for simplicity reasons. Private integer priv id, let's say, and let's give it a value 5. Okay, now a name for that method will be like multiply by 2. Okay, and if we try something like this here, like console.writeLine, when we grab that private id, when we multiply that with 2, what's gonna happen down there when we use this method through this object? Because this object is based on a storage class. So let's try to do that. And I'm gonna put this into comment section because it's not important at the moment. We are operating with integers. Right. So P1 is object, right? Dot and multi by 2 is available. Okay, we have it in drop down. So this is a method and parentheses and semicolon and F5 and problem. So multi by 2, not all code paths return a value. So actually you cannot use console write line because that's a kind of direct operation here. You can use returns, okay? Return a value. So you will say return this, whatever that thing is. It is integer in any case. So private ID is a 5, and this is like some imaginary big algorithm, some big NASA calculation, let's say. Then can we use it down there through method? Well, actually, something is going on. Yes, because we do have return, but we are not using it. So everything is fine with this thing, but we can now use this object in console write line in a main. So let's do that. Console.write line, and now we are targeting that specific object, and from object we are targeting multi-by2 method, and that method do have access to something that is private. So yeah, public is a method, but private is this ID, but we can use it down there through method. It's a little bit long operation, but it will yield us 10. There you go. So the bottom line, guys, if you want to protect your stuff, just put it into private and then use it in some bigger operations down there. And of course, you need to use that return into some kind of bigger source code down there, a bigger solution. In this case, it's a very simple write line, printing stuff, printing from object, but in practice you're gonna do probably much more complicated thingies. But I think this is a cool way to understand access to private stuff through public method. So you can practice a little bit this, especially with integers, because it is easy. Sure, you can do something with strings like this, like you can I don't know, like public string, like double it, and this will be method, and it will return some string but times double. So obviously this will be concatenation, so we're gonna have like I don't know, some string plus a little bit of space plus some string. Okay, still this is return, so down there you definitely can use it. Okay, same stuff, p1 object, but we are going to use a dedicated method here. When we press on dot, we're gonna have double it as available method, and this will yield us something simple, space, something simple. So returns are perfectly working. There you go. But you cannot access some string directly. So if you try something like this, let's activate this line, console write line p1 some string, then you're gonna end up into problem. There you go. Okay, so that's the pretty much moral of the story. Okay guys, thanks for watching as always, and for support and subscription. Share this channel with other people. You're gonna help me to have a little bit of free time as I gather a little bit more money on this channel. And yeah, so see you in a couple of minutes in future tutorials. Thank you, see you there.